Yo, what's up, Arno? How you doing? I'm good. I'm good. Just chilling, doing a little American Truck Simulator today. How's your How's your day? Do anything fun? What did you do Monday that made you sore? I forget. I'm trying to find some jobs that'll get me further out here. There we go. That'll take that one. Oh, that's right. That's right. Everything getting better, hopefully. Probably one of those slowly but surely kind of things. Oh, I took a wrong turn. Lessor still limping. Damn. You have to work an optional work event? Jeez. Alright, there we go. Oh, I gotcha, I gotcha. Sorry, I read that wrong. Oh, I took the wrong exit again. Texting and driving is not easy. What kind of a event is it? Like a little work get together kind of thing, or? Barbecue at the water park? Oh, that does sound like fun. It sucks not gonna be able to like enjoy it fully as you like would have, But hopefully you still get to go hang out and have a good time though. Chilling Lazy River, dude. I used to, when I lived in California, I'd go to the water park all the time as a kid. And honestly, even as a kid, I would just sit in the Lazy River and just chill all day. It was like so relaxing. This guy ain't got no taillights on. They're making this a little too realistic now. First swim trunks in over a decade. Jeez. Yeah, man, even though I was in the Navy, like I didn't go in the water that much. And so I had to do my swim call and like my swim qualification I think was in 2012. And then I don't remember the next time I went in the water. I'm sure there was somewhere that I went in, but yeah, I had to do the same thing. I went and bought new swim trunks back in like 2023. It was like the end of 23. Yeah, end of 23, beginning of 24. I had to buy a new pair because I didn't even have a pair. I was like I went out in the ocean. I think I went out in the ocean in like 2016, but yeah, ironically I didn't spend much time in the water, just around it. Yeah, pretty much. That's kind of how it is for the Navy. I mean, they may have changed it since I joined. I mean, they're always changing everything, but yeah, it was you do one swim qualification, and unless your like job requires it, like obviously if you're a Navy SEAL, if you're a rescue swimmer, you know, stuff like that, then obviously that's a lot different. You'll have to do it then. Yeah, just one time. They just want to make sure you know how to swim. You have the concept down, so that way if something ever happens and you go out in the ocean, fall overboard, ship goes down, whatever it may be, they can be like, well, back in however long ago, we certified that he was able to swim. I'm honestly surprised I don't spend more time in the water with how like good it feels on my back, because it like decompresses my back so much, and it just it takes away the pain slightly for a little bit. It's just so nice. I was actually supposed to get forklift certified back in 2020. I had the medical and everything done, and then COVID hit, and they weren't giving out the actual quals for it. So, I don't know. I know like there is in port. I don't. There's not many that go out to sea. But yeah, there's definitely some for in port. I'm actually getting a job for the Navy right now as an electronics technician, but I'm not going to be at a Navy base. I'll be. It's weird. I'm being hired on by the Navy, but I'm working for the Space Force. So it's kind of a weird collaboration thing they've got going on. Yeah, you can work on radar stuff. I did that as well. If I wanted to move back to California, I could have gotten a job doing pretty much that exact stuff on submarines. But I just didn't want to move back to California. Costs too much to live there. We'd be making a bunch of money, but I'd be spending it all trying to live there. Space Force, their huge event is Spaceball. That's awesome. I didn't even think about that. That's hilarious. Yeah, we used to go to Navy Ball all the time. I did the sub ball mostly. I didn't really go. I never went to a Navy Ball. I just went to the submarine ball. That's hilarious. I didn't even think about that being called the Space Ball. You'd be surprised. There's a lot of goofballs in the military, man. A lot. Especially in the submarine fleet. There's a lot of weirdos in there. It's a good time. I mean, it's kind of like anywhere, right? Like, and the Navy's a big melting pot. You know, you get everybody from all different kinds of backgrounds. You get people that have all different kinds of hobbies, you know, and it's a good time. You end up hanging out with the people that you get along with and have similar interests with. That's the way to do it. I mean, I hate saying it, but there's a political game you kind of have to play in the military. If you're the guy that's really good at their job but doesn't get seen doing their job, you don't really get the as good of a evaluation of yourself, I guess you could say. You could be not as good at your job but be known by people and like be a good person, and you'll get a better evaluation just because people see you more often. It's kind of weird how it works out. Depends on your leadership too. I kind of did that at first. I just kind of like hid in the back, and I realized how. I think my chief came up to me one time. He's like, "Dude, the command needs to know who you are, so I can get you a better eval." And I was like, okay." I don't think you'd have an issue with that. I mean, there's a. I would get bored at times, and I would go hang out with other. We call them rates jobs, and like, hey, how do you do that? How do you do it? Like, I sat down for like an hour and a half in like the sonar shack, just staring at the green sonar screen. I didn't learn how to read it, but like they're telling me all kinds of different things, and I was like, dude, that's a lot. Like, I'm not gonna be able to retain this. But I was like, it kind of gave me a new respect for them. Not that I didn't respect them before, but I was like, oh, they're just listening into sounds. Can't be that hard. Then I looked at like what they're actually analyzing, and I'm like, okay, that's difficult. Got the ears for sound? Yeah. I would not recommend doing sonar in the Navy because you're sitting there for 6 to 8 hours just listening nonstop for something or nothing or everything. Depends on where you're at. and you're in a dark room, so you're like constantly like sleepy the entire time. So that part's kind of rough. It was definitely a good fun time though. Got to go to a lot of cool places, see a lot of cool things. The only real sucky part is a lot of stuff I got to do I can't really talk too much about. But it was like a really cool experience. Yeah. Yep. So I wasn't there for this exact deployment, but I do have the tag off of a couple of Tomahawk missiles that were launched out of the submarine that I was on. We used to have what they call torpedo tube launch Tomahawks, and so we would load a Tomahawk into the torpedo tube, and then you'd launch it from the torpedo tube, and it would go out. It would turn up 90 degrees, like not like a straight 90 degree, but like at a curve, obviously. And then it would go up, and when I first got to the submarine, there was a guy that was getting ready to transfer off, and he was there for the deployment where that happened. And he was like, I can't really say too much of what happened, but I'm sure you can put enough of the story together, which I ended up doing myself. And then he gave me one of the tags off the back of the Tomahawk. It was pretty cool. Nice, nice. I've never seen anything like that. That's pretty cool. The only thing I really like tried to collect while I was in, and I'll still collect now if I come across it, is we call them challenge coins. Um, So I collected quite a few. Usually you trade them, so like you buy some of your own from your own command, and then you trade them to other people. Yeah, go for it. Yeah, I've got, man, I don't even know. I've got probably 100 coins now. Yeah, I'll check it out here in just a second. Oh, that's awesome. Hell yeah. It's a hell of a handbook, too. Hell of a place to go into. My my grandpa from my mom's side, he used to go to a lot of yard sales all the time, and I'm pretty sure he went to a yard sale. That's where he found this at. We have what's called a Blue Jackets manual. It's like the basics of how to be a sailor, stuff like that. And he found one that was super old. I think the date's on it, but I want to say it was like 60s, maybe 50s. And it's just like, it's pretty cool comparing it to the one that I got. And it's just like, it's crazy to see like some things have changed, some things haven't changed. So it's pretty cool. I forgot to silence my phone. I really want to get a sim rig set up for this and for other sim racing as well. It'd be so much fun. Yeah, they can. I was looking. I think what I'm gonna do. So, they have a wheel, pedal, and shifter setup that's kind of geared towards American Truck Simulator. So it's a little bit more upright. It's got all the extra keys and buttons that you need for like the truck to drop the third axle, release air, all that other stuff. And so I want to get that, but it's like $600. And I could use it to drive on other sims, but it's just not the same. It wouldn't be a good like you're sitting more upright, you're not sitting like back. And so I started looking at like how much the actual like rig itself would cost. And man, it started getting expensive. So I was like, okay, with American Truck Simulator, I don't need like a crazy nice gaming monitor to get like an advantage, or I don't need a super crazy refresh rate and all that other stuff. So I was like, why don't I just take a why don't I just get like an old like seat out of a truck or something, and then just build a frame and then just put a TV up there instead, and get like a little wall mount for the TV, and then I'll just get a TV for there, and I'll just drive off the TV. I care less. We got ads in 30 seconds. But yeah, and then getting like a whole separate sim thing for driving like iRacing or Assetto Corsa, stuff like that. Hey Cece, how are you? How you been? How's life treating you? Squirtle. Did it always rain a lot in the summertime in the springs? I don't know why you got. Apparently, Nightbot doesn't want you saying ass. Kicking you in the ass, but good. Hell yeah. Yeah, it's been raining like on average like 2 to 3 days a week lately. It's been weird. I mean, I'm used to it being from Florida, or last living in Florida. Yeah, I think I overheard somebody saying when I was at school. I think I overheard somebody was talking about how it used to do this like years and years and years ago, but it hasn't done it recently. So I guess it's like back in the normal, back to what other people would call normal, I guess. Yeah, because like when I lived in Florida and Georgia, it was like every single day it rained in the afternoon. Like if you didn't get rain, it was like a rarity. It didn't rain much, or for a long period of time. It did rain a lot during that period of time. These ones have been a little bit lighter of showers from what I'm used to, but I just wasn't expecting it when I moved here. You're in Fountain? Oh, okay. I'm probably going to move to the opposite side of the Springs. Um, I got the job offer So I'm gonna be working as a civilian for the Navy, but on a Space Force base. And since that's on the other side, I'm over on the west side of kind of Midwest, Midway, but on the west side. I want to go to the southeast side though, so I don't have to drive so far to work. Oh, yeah, that's my ball. That's my bad. I was rolling the dice. Oh, hit another guy. Yeah, I moved to this side because this is closer where my school is. And at the time, I didn't. I mean, I applied for the job. I had a feeling I was going to get the job. It wasn't a for sure thing. So I was like, well, I'm going to live closer to school so I don't have to drive that far when I go to school. But now I ended up getting the job. So I'm like, dang, I should have moved to the other side. But my luck, if I would have moved to the other side, I would have got the job and I would have had to drive super far for school. So it's all good. We're all from all over Colorado, from Fort Collins, Denver, Centennial to Fountain. Yeah, you pretty much just went north and just kept going south. I got some family that live up in Fort Collins, and then my parents live up in suburbs of Denver. I travel up there. Oh, excuse me. Probably like probably about twice a month now. I've never actually been up to Fort Collins. I haven't been any further north than Denver. At some point, I want to go up to Wyoming, just because I've never been to Wyoming. So I know I'll pass right through it, and I'll stop there on my way through. Yo, what up, Jamos? How you doing? Yo, what up, car guy? Just a little over the white line? Yeah, you should have seen me hit the other semi-truck a while back. Making a right-hand turn, blew right through the stop sign, didn't even look to my left. Oh. Excuse you, Maddie. Yeah, it is. I need to fix that. Let me do that real quick or else I'll forget. Hey, there we go. You're just in stream where someone gave 427,000 bits? What? Holy crap. Go to Cheyenne Frontier Days in Wyoming. Oh yeah, that sounds like fun. Thank you for the biddies. Thank you for the channel points. Yeah, I switched everything up. So I was doing everything through to a gamer, not some. That's wild though. I've seen some people 427,000 would be what, 40? Yeah, 40,000. Oh, apparently I'm getting tired in game. 7K euro. Holy crap, dude. That's insane. That's so much. Yeah, Maddie, I switched everything up. So I was playing DayZ with hey, thanks for the lurk, CC. I appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. It's always good seeing you. But yeah, so I was playing DayZ and we were doing Discord at the same time. And Discord audio was overpowering me and I couldn't adjust the Discord audio. So I finally split out my audio. So I got rid of desktop audio, did game capture instead of window capture, and then now I have different audio inputs for each thing. So now Discord's one of those, so that way I can adjust Discord volume on there. So when I did that, I dropped I made new scenes and they automatically went over the top of Tangia. How you doing, little Maddie? Yeah, and that's what made me do it. I just couldn't do it right then and there because I wasn't 100% sure how to split out the audio right then and there. I had a good feeling I knew how to. I just obviously wasn't going to do it while I was streaming, so. I hope you're doing well, Maddie. I hope you're been getting some stuff done and hopefully you've been actually relaxing. I'm good. I've been freaking busy doing paperwork trying to get going on this job, so I spent like 4 hours yesterday at the urgent care trying to get a drug test done, and then I spent some time filling out paperwork and mailing off paperwork today and electronic paperwork, all kinds of stuff. It's been good though. Trying to get a couple of extra perks for the job. I'm trying to get hired on with a stash of paid time off already, so it's worth doing a little extra paperwork for it. We missed you, but I'm also glad you're taking some time to yourself. Can't wait for you to come back. Yeah, so the I did it at urgent care because it's through the government. So the government just sends me an email, says, "Hey, we're telling you to go here." And so
Yo, Drommel's ass, thanks for gifting Maddie Lion a sub.
Yo, John, thanks for the gifted sub to Maddie. Good old Peter. So I just got an email and it was like, "You're going here," and so that's just one of the places they do drug testing at. So that's where I went. Oof, might get a little too close there. This is not gonna go well. What up, Shell? How you doing? I swear I can back up a trailer in IRL a lot better. Hey, thanks for the shout out from Maddie. Getting the whole gang in here now. Dude, I'm doing so bad at backing this up. It's funny because, like, I know some people will be like, I could do this better in real life than I can on game. And the funny thing is literally I can. Like, I have a truck and a trailer, and I can back it up so much better than this. I can't do it neither. I mean, I'm not saying I could back up a semi-truck. I've never tried that. I'm not even going to pretend that. But, like, I used to have a 36-foot trailer, and I could definitely back it up a lot better than what I've been doing on this. I miss that trailer. That was a fun trailer. Oh, yeah. I honestly, like, the issue was I wasn't even paying attention. Like, I was looking at chat half the time I was backing up. That's why I kept going backwards and all over the place. I can back it up like twerk. Does that count? Depends on who's asking. Okay, I gotta go this way. Sucks. As soon as I pick this up, I gotta go to sleep. No tweaking for me, flat butt. I've been told for a dude I've got a decent butt, but I cannot dance for shit. Oop. Oh man, it's not even gonna let me. Oh, this is gonna be rough. I did it so much as a joke, I can somehow suddenly do it. That's pretty good. Alright, I need to go right there. Cannot go any further. Oh, Maddie, I was gonna say, if you're still in here, one of my buddies just started playing Ark. I was like, I know someone that plays Ark. So I sent him to your Twitch, and also told him I was like, I'm pretty sure she's got Ark is ruining my life. I was like, I'm pretty sure she's got like videos on YouTube on it too. So I was like, if you get stuck on something, like browse through there. She's super awesome, super cool. So he's a good dude. Simon the Swede. Oh man, I'm falling asleep. Don't fall asleep yet. Don't fall asleep yet. Are people trying to get you into it? So I'm appreciate the plug. Nah, it's no plug. It's good people doing good things. I mean, if you sucked at Ark, I wouldn't say, hey, go check out Maddie. But I mean, you got a decent amount of hours in the game. Kind of hard to suck at this point. I've always done like Valheim. I've had that game for years. Never played it, and for me, it's not enjoyable for me to play it solo. But once we started playing it, Shell, I was like, dude, this is fun. And so I'm like that. I feel like with any game, like if I had Ark, I would never play Ark solo by myself. But then if I started playing it with someone else, then I'd probably get into it and get hooked to it. Yeah. But I think that's like me with almost all games though. Um, Obviously like this, I mean you can play this multiplayer. Which actually is pretty fun to do multiplayer. I've never done it, but I've seen some others do it and it looks a lot of fun. But there's really only 2 games that I won't play. Well, I take that back. 2 main games that I wouldn't play, and then anything that's like super crazy horror. I can't do it. No thanks. I like sleeping at night. Screw this. I'm going through the red light. Well, apparently I'm going backwards in here too. Oh well. Oh well. There we go. Of course, it puts me right into the night. I hate that. How much time do I have on this job? 14 hours? How far of an actual drive is it? $8. I wouldn't be able to make it. Oh well. The game that I need to play more, especially solo, is Stranded Deep. I need to play that game. I don't know why I keep not playing it. Cutting olives, can't type. Can't multitask. What's for dinner? Guess I could use my turn signal. And I did double check. Most of my, or all of my Stranded Deep time is on PlayStation. Alright, I'm just gonna pull out in front of one of these guys. Come on, dudes. Yeah, same. Okay, I'm better at Stranded than Ark, but everything else I'm terrible at. You're not terrible at games. What was the game that we played? Fall Guys? Was that what it was? The one where you made a bunch of maps on it? That was a fun one. I actually enjoyed that. I had no idea what it was going to be like, but yeah, it was pretty fun. You gotta be kidding me. Yeah, I could see that. It's been weird. So I switched over to like PC gaming back in like February of 23. It was like beginning of 2023 is when I really started like getting into like PC gaming and only PC gaming. And like I bought a PS5 um, when the second iteration came out, the slim model. And I feel bad because I definitely haven't played it that much. But like PC gaming is just so much better than console gaming now. Like I have a Switch, I don't touch it anymore. I'd probably only play it if I had people over and we were playing like Mario Party or something like that, but I don't have like online services for any of it anymore because I was like, dude, I'm spending like $15 a month to keep my PlayStation online and I play it once every 6 months. Like I'll just activate it the one time I do, and that's actually what I did. Me and two other people Fall Guys was the worst hour of my life. um, Me and two people were running it on. It was actually on Xbox. We were running DayZ on Xbox because one of them didn't have a PC yet, and so we were just playing it on Xbox. I literally bought the Xbox Online, whatever, Xbox Live for the 1 month, and then I canceled it because we only ran that one time. Fall Guys was fun, especially because like when I was playing it, I wasn't actually like trying to win, if that makes sense. I was like, oh, let me just kind of like play the game. And I just got lucky a couple of times. There's some times where I did terrible though. Maddie, you got to remind me to tell you the story about Mario Kart. I don't want to share it on here, but it's not bad or anything. I just don't want to share it on here, but I got a funny story about Mario Kart. I will say I'm not a huge fan of Mario Kart. I get way too competitive of it, and because of that, I don't like it. Because I will always be out front, and then I always at the very end get knocked down to like second or third every time. Like extremely competitive on Mario Kart. I hate it because the game. See, I'm already getting into it. The game is not actual racing. Because somebody always sends that little missile thing right at the end and fucks you up. No, it's fun though. When I do play it, I have to like remind myself that it's just a game, not get competitive. But when it comes to racing games, I just get so competitive on them. I can't help it. You know what game I haven't played in a really long time, but is so much fun, is Super Smash Brothers. It would take me a long time to get back in the groove of that game, but that would be a lot of fun to play. I forgot I never switched it back over. Do 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 do. You know what, car guy, if you're still here, something I've never asked. What kind of car do you drive? Being just a car guy. I don't know why I've never asked that question. Whether it be here or someone else's chat. Chevy Sonic RS with the 1.4 turbo. Nice. That was not what I was expecting your answer to be. That's awesome. That was very underwhelming. Alright, Buster, you're not going, so I'm gonna go in front of you. Alright, Shell. Go clean up. Escalade, Sierra, and F-150 also. Nice. See, now if you would have started with one of those, I would have been like, alright, I think you purposely chose the, like, most underwhelming, like, kind of what Maddie said. One of them all. Sonic is your daily, though? Gotcha. I want to get a new daily. I don't know what I'm going to get, though. I keep going back and forth. I want to get another Camaro because I miss my old Camaro, and I still have a lot of parts for my Camaro, but it's not really the best daily. And I want to get one that has low miles on it, and then that would be me racking up a bunch of miles on it. So I'm like, man, do I really want to or not? Then I'm like, the adult in me should just get like a Honda Civic or something of that sort, just get really good gas mileage, but I just don't know if I can do that. So I'm probably gonna get a Camaro again. Sonic's cheap to drive, yeah. I bet you parts for it are cheap too. I had a 2012 Chevy Cruze. It was the LTZ RS. It was like fully loaded. Wasn't intentional that way. It was just kind of cool. It was a some guy traded in at a Porsche dealer, and I was just cruising the internet, and these, I mean, obviously a Chevy Cruze is not a car that a Porsche dealer wants sitting on their lot for very long, so they had it priced really low. But it was kind of like a little further out. And I think that's why I didn't sell, because it was listed for like a week before I saw it. But anyways, I went and got it because at the time I had a 03. I had a 03 Dodge Ram 2500 gas, and I was driving like 45 miles one way for work, and it was cheaper for me to get a car, pay the car payment, insurance, and keep gas in it than it was for me just to drive my truck back and forth. So I got the Chevy Cruze. Yeah, the only issue I ever had with it is the turbo went out, but it was still under warranty, so they replaced the turbo for free. But other than that, I had no issues with it. It was a good running, solid car. It was kind of crazy because it was fully loaded. Like every option that could be on a Chevy Cruze was on it. So I had like a sunroof. I had like a real nice interior. It was pretty fun, little nice car. And then I traded that in for my Camaro. So that was in 2016. I bought the 2013 Camaro, and I had it all the way up until last year. I've been kind of looking. It's a good stretch. I don't own them that long. Yeah, so that Camaro was the longest I've ever owned any one single vehicle. So I guess now it's kind of weird. So I bought a Jeep back in 2014. I owned it till 2016. Sold it to my best friend, and then I just bought it back from him at the beginning of this year. So technically I've owned it for only like 2.5 years, but I know everything that's been done to it in the past 10 years now, over 10 years, which is kind of funny because yesterday I was fixing some of the wiring that I wired on the Jeep back in like 2014 when I was not as disciplined as I am now when it comes to doing work on vehicles. But it was kind of funny. I was like, oh, I got no one to get mad at but myself. What was I thinking? Yeah, 100%. What was I thinking? So I took off the mechanical fan. I put an electric fan on it because the mechanical fan, the clutch went bad. And so it's just easier to get an electric fan. And when I wired it to where you had to flip a switch on, and the switch was still controlled by an ignition fuse anyways, so there's no point to have a switch. And then it kind of like stopped working. So then I checked the fan was still good, so I went out and bought a new wiring harness for it, so that way now when the ignition hits, it's set on an auto on auto off setting, so there's no more like having to flip a switch for it. So it's kind of funny because I was like, why didn't I just do this from the get-go? This would have made things so much easier than me having to like turn on a switch and off a switch, and then didn't even really need to do it. Yeah, good times. So other than that, I think the longest I've owned a vehicle would be my current truck I bought in 2022. And before that, I had a Chevy 2500 Duramax I had for about 4 years. I probably would still have that truck, but the frame was rotting out, and financially I couldn't repair the truck, so I decided to buy the truck that I have now. And then I actually gave that truck to one of my best friends that lived out in Florida when I was stationed in Georgia. He needed a engine and transmission for a truck that he was building, so I just gave him my truck because my frame was rotted away, and I didn't have the ability to pull the engine and part out the truck myself and then still have like a bunch of leftover stuff. So he drove all the way out, picked up the truck for me, and then I just gave him the title to it. It was just easier to do it that way. I need to write the number down. I think I've owned like 16 cars and 4 motorcycles. Actually, I'm going to pull over to this repair shop real quick. Audi S4. Ooh, V8 all-wheel drive, 6-speed manual. Gosh, that sounds like fun. Sounds like I got a storm going on out there. Out back behind me. Yeah, I want to get so the Camaro I had was a 2013 Camaro SS. It was an automatic. at the time, I was married and my ex didn't know how to drive a stick shift, so we got an automatic because I traded the Cruise in for it and she was driving the Cruise. And so I want to get the exact same car that I had before, but in manual, and I want to get the RS model. So I had the 2SS. It was black, black interior. But now I want to get the same thing, but the RS. And honestly, the only reason I want the RS model or the SSRS model is because the headlights. I didn't like how the auto run headlights would turn on the fog lights on the non-RS model, and the RS, or no, the regular headlights. Sorry, not the fog lights. But the RS model turns on the halos on the factory headlights and the fog lights. But they make a kit that turns all the lights on at the same time. So that's the only reason I want to get the RS. Bright red, black Recaro leather, nice. I've ridden in a couple of like German cars, and oh, what's up, Thorzy? I didn't even realize that you typed that out. It was hot pink. What's up, dude? Oh shit, Lord, you're being compared to these homies? I'll get compared to anybody. I don't give a shit. Hey, thanks for the shout out for Thorzy. Dude just did like a 9-hour stream of DayZ today. Crazy. Streams more in one day than I do in a whole week. Aw, shit. But yeah, I still have the exhaust off my old car. It's not legal in a lot of states to run. Oh, it's actually technically not legal in any state to run it, but as long as I don't have to go through emissions, I'll be fine. But it's just so freaking loud. I mean, I love the sound. I just feel bad for my neighbors if I wake them up. So, how's trucking? Dude, I'm having a good time trucking. I learned earlier that when I'm backing up, I need to pay attention more to driving than chat. But, you know, other than that, we good. Yeah, pretty much. It was a Catalyst long tube, straight 3-inch pipe all the way to the back, and then a very, very, very small Flowmaster, like flow straight through exhaust muffler. Sorry, there we go. It was like the loudest one that they had. It was great. It sounded so damn good. Pull it with horses, push the car down the street. So, my first ever vehicle was a 1977 Chevy C10. It was a 2-wheel drive step side, had a 454 big block, and it had long tube headers, 3-inch exhaust, dual Flowmasters, and there are times when I would come home at like 2-3 o'clock in the morning from work, and my neighbors would text me the next morning at like 6 a.m. like, hey buddy, you woke me up, so I'm gonna wake you up. I was like, that's fair. I'm sorry, guys. Like, I was trying to be as quiet as I could, but yeah, there's only so much you can do. I miss that truck. That was the one vehicle I regret selling. I wish I never would have sold it. And for how much I sold it for. And how much they cost now. I'll get another one day. Yeah, it was a step side. I used to work at a drag strip, so I was trying to turn it into a drag truck, and it was fun. Any old 4-door or Buick LeSabre from the 70s. Dude, those things ride so nice. I mean, I know the term, you know, rides like a Cadillac, but they practically rode like a Cadillac. All the turbo noise, hell yeah. Yeah, so the Jeep that I have now, well, my old Jeep that I got back, it's a 94 Grand Cherokee. It's been lifted. It's got some decent sized tires on it. It's got a long arm front suspension on it. I'm gonna put a long arm on the rear. And when I had it, the transmission never shifted right. It didn't slip, but it never shifted right. So you always had to manually shift it. And so when I sold it to my buddy, he knew that, he was aware of it, and he ended up putting a new motor and transmission into it. When he did that, he couldn't get them running right. And so right now the Jeep has a literally brand new engine and transmission in it. It has 1 mile on it, and that's just from like rolling it around, because we have not been able to get it to run right. And so I'm torn in, because I've done so much to try to get it fixed, other than the crank sensor. But if that doesn't fix it, I'm torn, like, do I keep dropping money into the 4-liter straight 6, or do I just say screw it and LS swap it, because, you know, LS swap the world. And if I do that, it would mean it would have so much more power, sound so much better. But at the same time, I kind of love the way the straight 6 sounds, so I don't know. I'm torn. It's really going to depend on how much it's going to cost to get it going. Shell wants a Cadillac, make you feel important. Build a 66 Impala, big turbo LS swap on air ride. Yeah. Oh man, that sounds like a sweet, fun ride to have. Excuse me. You can fit 10 people comfortably in there? Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking, like, I know long term I'm eventually going to get an LS in there anyways. And so, because eventually I want to put it on 1 tons on 40s, and I'm going to need more power. Like, yeah, I could just gear the living hell out of it and run on the straight 6 on it, but I still want to be able to drive it. So, I don't like building things that can only be, like, towed to a trail or towed to the track to race. Like, I want to drive it to the track. I want to drive it. I want to have the option to, at least. And so I'm pretty much gonna, I want to get like a Gen 4 all aluminum 5.3 LS for it, and a 4L80. That would be ideal for it. So there is a company, I'm gonna buy them once I start this job and I get a little extra cash going. They sell the engine brackets that are direct swapping for it, so that's pretty cool. When I was looking at doing an LS swap before, back in 2015-ish, 14, 15, nobody made brackets for the Grand Cherokee. They made them for the regular Cherokee, but not the Grand Cherokee. So there's finally companies out that have them out for the Grand Cherokee, so I'm gonna buy them just to have them. Yeah, exactly. I never got to finish. I had 2 project Fox body Mustangs that I was going to put an LS in, and I just didn't have the time or money to ever get them done. Being in the military, constantly having to move, didn't make it any easier either, so that's kind of the main reason why I never really did it a whole lot, but yeah, I was gonna do LS turbo deal, so that way I could drive it to the track. Pretty simple, easy, nothing too crazy. 1,000, 1,200 horsepower. I was hoping to be able to dabble into like the high sevens on it, but one day. It sucks now because I don't think I can get my NHRA license. I'm not 100% sure. So if I do build a car that's faster than 10 seconds and I have to have a license, like, I know this is kind of like shitty to say, but a 10-second car for me is just slow. Like, it's not that fast. Like, you know, for me, 850s is dabbling in, like, starting to get to the fast. I prefer to go 750s if I could. And obviously you need a license to do that. Well, in the NHRA licensing, there's a direct spot in there that says, was the person medically retired from the military? And I'm like, why would they have that on there? Like, does this mean I'm gonna still be able to pass or not? So yeah, it's pretty cool. Do the swaps for others for under 8K, if only. Get off of Facebook Marketplace. It's bad for you. Trust me, from experience. As I was on there earlier, looking for seats for a sim rig. It's not on Facebook Marketplace. All right, I'll give you that. Dude, Shell, it really is. Like, I think that's the main reason why I don't go on Facebook. And like, I have Facebook, I have Instagram. I use Instagram over Facebook, not because it's any better. I mean, they're owned by the same people. It's just because Instagram doesn't have an Instagram marketplace. And if I'm on Facebook, it's just so easy for me to like tap on the little icon and then start, you know, searching for a whole bunch of crap that I don't need. You know what's funny is, so I had Facebook, I mean, I had Facebook practically when it came out. But I stopped, like, I deactivated my account for a long time. And I reactivated it was after I got divorced. And then there was the Facebook dating, and I was like, yeah, no. I'll pass on that personally. You don't get deals if you don't shop, but you end up shopping all day. And then I end up broke. Oh shit. Took my hand off the controller. I done fucked up. So yeah, I don't really use Facebook. I have it. I jump on there really just for Marketplace when I'm looking for certain things. But even then it gets bad because it's like, ooh, I may want to get a boat next year. So then I start like looking to see how much boats cost. And then I started looking at like jet skis, then it turns into snowmobiles, then it turns into quads, then it turns into side-by-sides. And I'm like, dude, I came on here to look to see how much boats cost, not all this other crap. What new knives your dad made? Oh, that's pretty cool. Is he like an iron worker, or is he a like a hobbyist? Twitch second. Freaking road construction, man. Does that as a hobby, about 120 a knife. Hell yeah. I've known a lot of people that have taken their hobby and not like turned it into a full-on like business, but done like a couple things here and there, so that way they can make some money off of it, so that way they can kind of push themselves to do it more themselves. Had a couple boats, had a big block Jack boat. It was beautiful. Had to sell it. Oh crap! I'm not paying attention again. Dude, you can pull up. Why are you in my way? Yeah, so I don't know if you're in there earlier when we were talking in Thorzy's chat. Like, I really want to get a boat that I can't afford by any means, and I don't even know even if I could afford it, if I should ever spend the money on it. But I really want to get like a 30 to 40 foot catamaran with twin big blocks in it. That would be like the ideal thing that I want. But realistically, one of my buddies just bought a mid 80s are they called cigarette boats? I think that's what they're called. And it's got a big block 496 in it, and so I'll probably end up getting something similar to that. I think I can get that around like 30 to 40,000. Where's the frickin'... It didn't give me a cue to weigh the truck. Oh, I had the bypass. Dude, I totally read that as I had to stop. No wonder. If you get that, I'll work on it full time. Yeah, so I won't get it while I'm here in Colorado, just because I'll never be able to use it. Like, the lakes here are not big enough to really get full advantage of that. So I'm thinking about getting like a center console, more of like a fishing boat with like maybe 150 horse outboard to kind of put around on weekends here and there with my dad, go fishing here and there. But if when I move back to Florida, that's when I'll get that boat, because we would run the intercoastal in Florida and go to a place called Crab Island and always chill and hang out there on the weekends. It was so much fun. Yeah. I kept pushing around the idea, and I talked myself out of it because it's probably what's best for my health. But I've always wanted to live on a sailboat, and but with my back, like if my back spasmed out while I was on a sailboat, especially like where I was at when it did it, I could essentially fall overboard and not be able to like keep myself afloat, and I'd just drown. So probably better that I don't do it. But I thought about just getting a sailboat, like selling everything, jumping on a sailboat, get one that's got the small little diesel on it too, so that way when it's slow, not much wind, I can keep driving on there. It'd be so much fun. Yeah, no life alert in the ocean. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can call the Coast Guard, but they're only going to come so far. Get a demilled submarine. Dude, if it didn't take a group of people to operate a submarine and it wasn't so expensive, because trust me, I've looked at them. There's a diesel submarine it's being sold by the UK, but it was a Russian-built submarine, and it's for sale for $2 million. So trust me, I've thought about it. I've looked into it. There's no physical way I'd be able to. It would take a crew of at least 15 people, if not 30. And that's like at minimum. Coca-Cola once has the second largest navy. What? How? Had the second largest navy? How is that even possible? Did they buy out like somebody else that had a bunch of boats or something? I don't trust a metal tube in the ocean. Oh man, I loved it. If I didn't get medically retired, I'd still be doing that for sure. I thought that boats from the money because Soviet Union, because Soviet Union money. Yeah, pretty much. It's wild, like, and this isn't from like my military experience. This is just from personal opinions and what I've seen. It is wild how powerful the Russian Navy and military is, but they can't afford to do anything. Like, their submarines have so much capabilities, but they can't afford to take them out to sea. It's just wild to me. I guess the security check's on the way out. Alright, where am I supposed to drop this trailer at? How about you just tell me that? Was I not supposed to turn in here? Oh, I took the wrong turn. Let's try this again. Hopefully I don't jackknife this too bad. Champagne dreams on a beer budget. You know it. My excuse me. My old neighbor when I lived in Arizona, he had a buddy from California where he was from. And he had a boat. I forget what boat it was, but he built a motor for it, outdrive and all that stuff for it. And then Eliminator had a catamaran fun deck. I think it was a 28 foot, might have been a 32. And they were selling just the hull. They weren't selling it with the motor or transmission, but it had the hull and it had the full interior and everything. So he pulled the engine and transmission, or sorry, engine and outdrive from his current boat. He still had the factory stuff, so he put that back in there, sold that stuff, which was the cost of what he bought the hull for. And then he had the catamaran, and man, that's where I fell in love with catamarans. With like the catamaran fun deck was just like so cool. So ideally that's what I would like to do, but I looked at it, there was one that was used for like 175,000, and then like the real one that I want is like 250,000. I'm like, dude, I'll never be able to spend that much, or I should never spend that much. Did I do this wrong again? Oh. Dude, dropping this trailer off has been a nightmare. Is this where I'm supposed to drop off at? Holy crap. Dude, I'm all the way through this, all the way down. Remind me to never take this job again. Been on a dozen cats. The last two I was on were stupid fast. Caps just pounded them. It was a hell of a ride. Yeah, I love how, I never actually rode on one, but I love how stable they are compared to like a traditional V-nose hull. Alright, snorkeling spots, hell yeah. Yeah, I would love to learn how to scuba dive. That's been one of the things that I wanted to learn how to do. Okay, am I going to be able to sneak this thing through here? I don't think I'm going to be able to make this. Oh, yeah, I can make this turn. Alright, let's see how many times it takes me to do this. A little too much. Yeah, I can save it in this one. Yeah, I'll pull up. I'm in Michigan, literally on Lake Huron. If you think about getting a scuba cert, I would say it's easy, and it's like a 2-year wait to get in. So I know when I was in Florida, I had a couple buddies go do it, and they literally, because it's like you can obviously go year round practically out there. Let's see here. Oklahoma, Nebraska. Anything that's going to Iowa? Iowa's a new map that I just got, so I want to try to go there. But yeah, so they took like, I think it was like 4 weekends, and then they were done with it afterwards. It's pretty good. I don't think my truck should do a heavy haul. Yeah, whatever. What's the worst that could happen? Oh, dude, I gotta drive this thing from under here. Oh, this is gonna be terrible. Why didn't you guys drive this thing out into like the open for me? Make this easier. I gotcha, yeah. Alright, to get out of here, I'm gonna have to drive this way. Salt caves. I really should be telling this with my other truck that I have, but it won't let me really switch it over. Dude, making this turn is going to suck. Okay, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Legend says if you lick the walls, it'll be salty. It's a crazy legend. One that we can actually test. Yeah, the other truck that I have in this game is a Kenworth W900, but it has a triaxle rear. I was having issues though when I wasn't hauling like heavy hauls, that I wasn't able to turn for shit because it was such a long frame to hit that extra axle in there. So I had this truck also as a triaxle, and I converted this one, since this is the one that I drive the most, back to a dual axle and just made the frame a little shorter so I could turn better. Crazy rolling 25 in a mine. Hey, it says right now speed limit's 55. You can actually lick salt lamps you buy at the store. Employees kept yelling at me, but they taste so good. There's a company out of Utah. Oh man, I can't remember their name off the top of my head. Alright, this is where I gotta kind of take it slow. Am I good? We're good. Oh, and it's still sun outside. Nice. Oh shit. You guys didn't see that in my mirror at all. But yeah, there's a company and they do a store in Utah. They mine salt, and one of the YouTubers that I watch, dude, I cannot turn this thing. One of the YouTubers that I watch, he went down there and they're literally just eating salt off of the ground. It was hilarious. I was like, I don't know if I'd do that, but it's literally just like raw salt out of the salt mines. Alright, I got this now. The one thing I like about hauling heavy loads in this game is you get to run all the red lights because you're getting the escort. It's kind of nice. And you don't have to worry about like anybody hitting you when you run the red lights. I should probably drive this one from outside so I don't hit so much shit. Can you imagine like moving this in like IRL? That'd be insane. Whole road is yours. Yeah, if this dang cop would actually keep going instead of making me stop. Don't you dare. See, says hold my beer. Literally. It's like, watch this. The one thing that does suck though about running the heavy hauls, they weigh so much that sometimes you just can't go that fast. Can't stop, won't stop. Yeah, like this is pin full throttle right now. 15. Going up a hill, so it's probably going to drop to 14. Yep. What's wild too, there's only 2 chains on the back of this thing holding it on. And 2 chains in the front. I'm pretty sure you would actually need like 100 different chains. Okay, there's a couple on the sides there, I see. But still. I just don't feel like those chains would actually hold it that well. Alright, we'll see how long I last in here until I hit something. Yo, what's up, Mason? How you doing? Oh yeah, it's so chill. I've been having a little bit of a busy week, even though I don't have school this week. Just been running around doing a whole lot of stuff, so instead of running like DayZ or Gray Zone Warfare, been thinking about, I was like, you know what? I could drive a semi-truck. There's no thinking in that. You need this game? Dude, I love this game. This game has the second, besides DayZ, this is my second most played game that I have on Steam. I love it. I absolutely love it. Yeah, I'm hauling a big ass dozer, whatever this thing is. Yeah. It's a heavy haul, that's why we're going so slow. That's why we have the police escort. But I think it was 90,000 pounds is what it weighed. I think that's just the load. I don't think that's the trailer and the truck. There's a how do I zoom out again? There we go. So this is where I'm at. So as you can tell, I haven't been in Iowa and Missouri yet. These are new ones that I just bought and unlocked. So I'm just trying to find jobs that are like in this area. And hey, there's your city. This is one of the ones that kept me in the area, so I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll run it. So yeah, we just chilling, driving, having a good time, shooting the shit. I was just saying, so I just bought the DLCs for the 2 new states that came out not too long ago. Your city is apparently in Iowa, right there. It's a letter off, but you know, it works. But yeah, so I just got those 2 states unlocked, so I've just been trying to stay in these 2 states, driving around, exploring them. I'm assuming eventually one day they're going to have all 50 states done on here, and I assume they'll probably move to like Canada or something else like that, but I can't wait to get the job that's like South Florida to Washington or something like that. That's funny. It's like, how does he know that? Why is he doxing me? I had no idea. I didn't even know what country you lived in, to be honest. That's funny. You live up in Wisconsin? Oh, right on. I heard I'll dox myself for you. I heard they make a lot of good cheese up there. Never been there though. It's like one of the 12 states I still need to visit. The drunkest state in the nation. Yes, and yes. I've known a couple people from there. Awesome people. Actually, my boot camp, we call them RDCs, but like drill instructor, was from Wisconsin. I think he moved back there when he got out too. I don't remember if he's in Illinois or Wisconsin. One of the two. I know he's from Wisconsin though. He's always posting about going to the Green Bay Packers games. Sounds like a nightmare. The furthest I've driven straight shot without stopping was San Diego to Denver. San Diego, California to Denver, Colorado. I went to worked for like 2-3 hours, and then jumped in my truck and started driving. We left San Diego at about 10 a.m. and then jumped ahead 1 hour when we got to Colorado, and we got in at like 4 a.m. We just went nonstop. Obviously stopped for gas and food, and that was about it. Hot shot trucking. Dude, that's what I want to get into. When I'm done working this government job, I want a hot shot truck so bad. I want to do automotive transport. You think one day you want to move to the Midwest, isolated and friendly? Hell yeah. I would say probably the biggest cons would be, depending on where in the Midwest, you're going to have tornadoes. Other than that, maybe a little dry, but not like dry weather, but dry as in not a whole lot of resources to water. Other than that, it should be fine. I'll be honest, I didn't know if I had enough room on that truck or not. Oh, nope, that's not the one Kia one. There we go. Rain barrels and filtration will be your friend? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because it's definitely humid out there, but I know at times there's not a lot of water to drink. All right, let's be real. I probably shouldn't have taken this job. It's gonna take a lot longer than I thought it was going to. How many axles we got in this trailer? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 axles. Jeez. Horrible winters. Yeah. There's a streamer that I follow and watch. He's from Michigan, up in the Upper Peninsula. And he's got an outdoor cam. He's got like a farm. I wouldn't say a farm, but he's got some land and whatnot. And he's got a little outdoors. But in the winter times, he'll turn on the outdoor cam every so often. And it's just like feet of snow out there. It's ridiculous. I don't know if I could do it. Boy Scouts taught you a lot. One was water collection. I never did the Boy Scouts. Never did. One of my best friends, he was in the Boy Scouts. He got Eagle Scout, I think it's called. He got that finished up before he finished. It's funny, he made a promise to his dad that he was gonna get Eagle Scout before he could get a driver's license, and he kind of like slowed down at the end. So when he turned 16, he didn't have it. So his dad's like, "Nope, you said you're gonna do this, so you're gonna do it." And he's like, "Ah, crap." So he ended up getting his license later on just because of that. SEER training. Yeah, I could believe that. Why are you stopping, dude? Oh my gosh. And I can't pass you or else it cancels the job on me. When I was stationed in Maine, they have a SEER school there. And they only ran it in the wintertime, so I'm assuming it's for cold weather training. Jefferson City discovered. There we go. I want to move to the desert. I used to live in Arizona. Good old Phoenix. I wouldn't recommend Phoenix though. I would say like Nevada desert. Visit Arizona, yeah. I loved it when I was there. After I left, so I joined in 2012, and I went back and throughout the years over time. Last time I was there was 2021, I think, maybe 2022. No, it was 2021. So that's the last time I was in Arizona. But it's a lot different now. Camel spider. I feel like I've heard. Aren't those like the giant ones? I've heard of the name. I forget what they actually are though. Yeah, Arizona used to be a lot of fun. Giant mean old bastards. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, like they're like the spread of their legs are like close to the size of like a basketball or something like that. Maybe volleyball. I don't know. Maybe not that big, but they're fucking huge. If I'm thinking of the right ones. Yeah, hard pass. I think that's the biggest thing I miss about Arizona. There's only a couple things out there you had to worry about. Like, you had rattlesnakes, scorpions, and rarely, but black widow and brown recluse spiders. Like, other than that, there wasn't much else out there that really, like, yeah, you had coyotes, but I mean, there wasn't else like that much out there. There wasn't too much wildlife. Hell, you got to be more careful of the damn cacti out there than anything else. Make sure you don't bump into them on accident when you're running through the desert. Yeah, rattlesnakes. Oh, hell no. I would freak out and never go back into a tent ever again. I hate spiders with a passion. When I lived in California, we had to deal with black widows a lot. When I moved to Arizona, I was still living with my parents before I was old enough to live on my own. Like I said, we dealt with snakes and scorpions, but honestly, like, at the... Oh, shit. How am I supposed to fit this thing through here? There's literally... Okay, there is a way, but still. It's not much of a way. Okay, that was really close. I got lucky. Oh, I'm a little close to that guardrail, though. I'm not liking this at all. This is the part of the heavy haul that I don't like. At least it's straight here. We're not having to turn. Alright. Sometimes the police actually would push them over. They'd like push them up over like the white line on the other side, give me more room. Okay. Just pin it to win it? Yeah. I forget. I mean, it was a long time ago, back when I was playing this game, like when I first got it. I was driving, I was coming down off of a downhill, and I was flying, doing like 90 something miles an hour. And then there was like two cars that just ended up right next to each other, and I ended up, well, I can either ram them or take a chance in the other lane. So I went into the other lane and just freaking smashed right into another car head on, just totaled the truck altogether. I had to go buy a whole new truck. It was awesome. Good times. Good times. Oh, we got the damn ads coming again. Damn ads. Rolla discovered. Got another town in. Actually, while this ad breaks finish up, I'm going to grab a quick drink. Alright. That worked out pretty good. Drink some nice ice cold water. Why are you stopping again, my dude? Oh, because it's red light and that guy stopped. I take back my previous statement. Aw, damn it. How far back is the checkpoint? I didn't think I was gonna hit it. I'm back. What the fuck? So the escort car slammed on its brakes, and oh, I didn't even have to move that far. That worked out. Anyway, so this guy was like stopped right there, right? And actually, I probably should have clipped it. I don't know if it would be too late to grab it or not. We'll see. And I kept inching up on it, and I just got too close, and I tapped the rear bumper. And if you hit the escort vehicle, it automatically ends the run. So you either have to abandon it or you have to load the last checkpoint. So I was just fucking off. I fucked around. I found out. Oh, don't tell me. Yeah, I didn't think I actually like hit it, but oh well, it is what it is. When you're running these heavy hauls, you can't hit your escort vehicle. You can hit the guardrail, you'll get docked a little bit of money for it, but if you hit the escort vehicle, if you overtake the escort vehicle, if I'm not mistaken, like if you try to pass it, then that's when you automatically have to forfeit the job. I'm pretty sure you can slap another car. Again, it'll take damage and it'll deduct you on it, but I don't know like the severity of it. I'm sure there's like a limit of how much you can do. The part that threw me off is the fact that it was my truck. But maybe you're not supposed to hit the police car, so I don't know. Yeah, so pretty much I was just like this, and I just like kept inching up until I little tappy tap. Got 70 miles to go. Favorite place I've seen IRL? Am I limited to the United States, or can I say somewhere overseas? Or lived? Or been? Favorite place I've ever been to is a tiny little island in the middle of the Indian Ocean called Diego Garcia. It is a small British territory that is rented by the United States. You can only be affiliated with the military in order to get on the island unless you are a hired civilian worker. They do like 1 year stints, if I'm not mistaken. But most of the workers come from India. And it's absolutely beautiful, gorgeous. The water is crystal clear. The weather is amazing. The entire island is like, I think the highest point is like 10 feet off of sea level. It's just like tiny, tiny little place. I think it's like 5 miles all the way across. The internet sucks. Phone calls are $1 a minute, so you're almost forced to live like a true vacation. It's so nice though. Yeah, I'll see if I still have photos of it, and I'll post them up in the Discord if I see them or if I come across them. It's been a while since I've been there, so yeah, beautiful island. Stateside, man. When I got stationed in Florida, when I was in Pensacola, Florida, I didn't realize how beautiful like the Gulf of Mexico water is, and so that area was also really pretty. Yeah, and I would say the like best place I've ever lived would be Florida, in my personal opinion. I liked Florida. I wish I could go back. What about you? I'm boring. I've gone nowhere. Hey, I got the farm fields. Yeah. If it wasn't for me joining the military, I would have only visited 3 states, and I never would have gone overseas or nothing. I would have been California, Arizona, and Nevada. Would have been the only states that I've ever been to. So it wasn't until after I joined that I get to go all across the country and overseas and all that stuff. So no, I would like to. I don't have the money to do it right now. I do like within the city that I live in. I'll just go like randomly drive around just to explore more of the city. Especially when I move somewhere new. Sorry, I would always just jump in my car and drive around, or jump in my truck and drive around. Yeah, it costs a lot of money. One thing I'm wanting to do, not I wouldn't say like a bucket list item, but um, I want to travel to Europe, and I actually want to take a cruise, like the Nordic cruises up there. I want to go visit Sweden. I'd like to go to Ireland, Norway, places like that. So yeah, that's one thing I'm gonna start saving up some money for eventually. I've flown through Ireland. I never actually got to go visit it. I was stuck on the airplane because of COVID. Um, the only country that I've visited that's kind of nearby would be Bulgaria. And the little bit that I saw in the middle of the winter, it was beautiful. But yeah, I would love to go check that out. Go to the Caribbean every year, early March. Hell yeah. I almost have no new islands, so I'll have to choose a new place to cruise to. That's like a good problem to have, though. Bro ran out of islands, RIP. Yeah, I'm fortunate that I got to do a lot of traveling for my time in the military, and I'll say being in the Navy helped being able to explore a lot of different places. So I know like guys in the Army, Air Force, Marines, when they get deployed, they go to like one spot and they're there for their entire deployment, and that'd be boring. Not gonna lie. More power to them. If I could afford it, one place I would absolutely love to go travel to, which even though I don't think we're legally allowed to, would be Antarctica. Just because I know it'd be freezing cold, and I wouldn't want to be there for like super long time, but I think it'd be fun to go check that place out. But I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to travel there just because you want to travel there. I just want to know what's there. Like, I know some people go there for work, but like, I want to know how cold it actually is. Like, I've only seen what people talk about, and like, if their face is exposed for what, like 40 minutes, then they're like frostbitten or something like that. Like, that's cold. Or maybe it's 4 minutes or something. I don't know. It's some ridiculous time, like a little bit of amount of time. I just want to go see what it's like. I tried really hard getting a submarine that would do an Arctic run. I really want to go to the North Pole too, but didn't get the opportunity, unfortunately. That would have been fun. Popping up from through the ice. Yeah. I think they every 2 years, roughly. I think. They send subs up through the up to the North Pole, essentially. Yeah, so it takes a certain class of submarines to do it. So all the ones that couldn't do it are pretty much out of service now, so it's not that big of a deal. But the Los Angeles class 688 I's and the Virginia class submarines are the ones that can do it. It's pretty cool. Yeah, you retract all the antennas down into the sail, and then you take on a bunch of water, and then you blow that water out really quick, and you become very buoyant, and you kind of just like punch your way through the ice. It's pretty cool. There's a couple other things you gotta do, obviously, too, but that's the gist of it. Yeah, you can actually, if you're interested, you can actually Google it, YouTube it. It's gotta be so loud inside. Yeah, I would imagine. But yeah, so they break through the ice. They do like a bunch of like sonar screenings of the place. I want to go to Oregon. Don't want to go to Idaho. Wyoming. Let's take this one. Oh man, it's another heavy haul. I don't want to do that. What else I got? Anything else going to Iowa? It's really not that much money. Anything else going to Iowa? Oh, as we go further, it's going to get less and less. Damn. So remember that time I said I'm not going to do another heavy haul load? I think this one's not an escorted one though. I think it's just a heavy load. Actually, how much time is on that? Ain't that the truth? 16 hours. Alright, cool. I can go to sleep first. Find a place to sleep on the way. Yeah, at least with this one we won't be restricted to following the police though, and speed limits and stuff, so the only thing that'll slow us down is going up hills. You just watched it? Dude, it's pretty cool. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, granted I know that I kinda like did it, but or I was in the submarine fleet, but yeah. It's really cool. They kinda just like, I think they have 3 attempts. After the 3rd attempt they have to bail out. And then there's a crew up top that helps drill out some of the ice. That way you can open the hatch and they go in and they do all kinds of different cool things. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And you get a cool little Arctic service ribbon for going up there too. That's one of the things that I wanted, but oh well. Submariners kind of like a little of everything, but yeah, there's a lot of Submariners that love hot sauce, and it comes down to we have like the food isn't terrible, but it depends on who your cooks are. If you have good cooks, the food is good. If you have cooks that are not experienced, then the food is very bland. And so a lot of people bring hot sauce because you don't have to keep it refrigerated or anything. So they use that. So then it comes into like one person brings this, another person brings that, and they're like, oh man, let's try this. They try that, and they just do like all kinds of stuff. And next thing you know, they're doing challenges of, you know, how hot of hot sauce can we get, how much of it can we put on. And I mean, think about it, you're living in a steel tube underwater. There's not a whole lot to really do under there. So people are in subs and shit, and I'm just like, hey. Yeah, you kind of have to like come up with your own entertainment. If you're like, when I would go out for like a week, you know, you didn't have to worry about too much about entertainment. If you went out for like 2 weeks, not terrible. When you start hitting about 3 weeks or so, that's when you start like thinking about, all right, how am I going to entertain myself for this underway? And then obviously deployment, so you really got to figure something out. So I would just find a TV show, and I would go do my work for the day, and then when I got done doing my work and it was time, my free time, I would go lay in my bed and watch a TV show until I fell asleep, and then rinse and repeat. Oh. Okay, cool. There's a place to sleep right across from where I got to pick up from. Keep the truck between the mustard and the mayo. I got to run for a while. Hey, thanks for swinging by, car guy. I appreciate it. I'll do my best. No promises. We know I'm going to go over it, though. Let's be real. Oh, I forgot my steering wheel blocks the blinker from the inside. Mason, if you're interested enough, type in into YouTube like U.S. submarine and then angles and dangles. That sounds sus. I'll let Mason watch it, and then I'll talk about it a little bit afterwards. I don't want to ruin it for him. Hey, it's on YouTube. It can't be that bad. I think I'm on the wrong site. Thursday, I know we talked about Farm Sim, but we got to get you on American Truck Simulator, and we got to run some trucking sometime. One of these days we might actually play Farm Sim too, but Thursday, when you taking off? Are you around tomorrow? I smash everything. I knew you got a lot of stuff going on before. You have a wheel and pedals? Dude, I need to get a wheel and pedals. I never should have sold mine. It's fucking with my brain, but I think I know what's going on. So, Angles and Dangles is done for two different reasons. One, you have to do it to test when you come out of a shipyard availability, because you have to adjust to make sure that the submarine can operate at the limitation that... Man, fucking road's closed. Oh, damn, this dude is like... Alright, fuck you too, dude. So you have to test the maneuverability of the submarines. And then the second one is what we call stow for sea. So we have to make sure everything's stowed for sea, so nothing falls if we need to take like an emergent action of some sort. Let me go up to the gas station, turn around up there. So anyways, so we'll go down kind of deep, and we'll pull full rise, come all the way up. Well, not all the way up, but we'll come up pretty shallow, but we'll take a heavy ascent angle. I think they've said on the internet we go like 20 to 25-ish degrees up, and then same thing about going back down. But because of the way gravity obviously works out, when fuck you, dude, when you're doing a 25-degree angle up and you're standing there, you're leaning forward, but you're not actually like leaning forward, you're actually going straight up and down. It's pretty cool. It's fun. But that's the good old Angles and Dangles. Yeah, there's always somebody that's like standing there in two people facing each other, and one's trying to give like an uppercut to the other person. It's pretty fun. Where do I buy one? Good luck. There's a used diesel one. Do all submarines have the string? No, so they don't have the string by default. But you can put a string across, and it will sag over time as you go deeper. It does crush the hull as you go down, or compact it, however you want to call it. Practically crushing it. Oh shit, apparently I can't make that. Dude, the first time I went underway on a submarine, I went to my dock like after a week, and I was like, I can't do this shit. Fuck this. I'm out. Like, there's no way. The doc's like, the funniest thing the doc's ever told me. Doc's like, submarine life is like a Russian hotel. You can check in, but you can't check out. Sorry, bud, you're stuck here. And I was like, oh, crap. And then I started enjoying it after a while. It's crazy at first, though. Yeah, you literally can't leave. Hotel California. Yep. You could even unlock the hatch and you still wouldn't be able to get out because the pressure of the water is pushing the hatch shut. They do have escape escape trunks though, which is pretty cool. But there's a whole entire like procedure you have to do to get out of there. You have to pressurize. There's two people. You would die in the torpedo tubes when they pressurize. It would fuck you up. The on the first submarine that I was on, they had two escape trunks, a forward and an aft one, and two people would go in there at one time. You would have to pressurize the compartment to equal to sea pressure in order to open up the hatch to get out. And then there's like a whole procedure for everyone else to do, and you have a crew of 150 people, so you have to cycle it 75 times to get everybody out. It takes a lot. But there's not many scenarios where we would end up where we'd actually use it. It's more like a warm, comfy feeling. Yeah, so the first one I was on was 150. The second one I was on, we had up to 300. The first one I was on was 360 feet long. No, 330 feet long. And the second one that I was on was 560 feet long. Did it smell? Actually, it didn't. There's a big charcoal filter that takes out all the smells. So, crammed in like sardines? Yeah, pretty much. The worst part is like the submarines themselves are actually pretty big, but there's so much equipment in there that there's no room. I'm 6 foot, 6'1", and the first one that I went to, I had to like duck everywhere I went. The second one I went to, I didn't have to duck everywhere, which was kind of nice. Now I want to experience it. Do it. It's definitely one of those things where you're like, I don't regret doing this. It was an awesome experience. Oh, we got them ads. Damn ads. Still says ad break's going for another minute. Do not enter. There's a road connection over here. Alright. Alright, let's go pick up this load before it disappears. Yeah, it's definitely one of those experiences where you're like, dude, that was wild. I can't believe I did that, but I'm like so glad that I did do it. When you're there, sometimes it kind of sucks, not gonna lie, but there's a lot of times it's pretty good. Good fun times. Oh, am I gonna beat this guy? Hell yeah. Not visually, no. There's no windows. We drive by sound, and by sound I mean by listening. You can hear shit though. Like I've heard whales and I've heard shrimp and all kinds of different random things. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So like they have a like an underwater. You hear shrimp, yeah. Well, like not like just stand like through sonar. Like sonar, I like listened to what sonar was listening to, and you could hear it through them. Ain't no Captain Nemo. Through the walls. I haven't heard anything through the walls, so to say. I don't think. Oh, it's over here. Missed it. It is wild though, because like sound can transient really far underwater. The ship are talking to me. I have heard sonar from like surface ships before, but not like any. That wasn't live, obviously. Not a live one, no. I have fired test ones though. Well, I didn't fire it. I was there while they were firing it. It wasn't my job to fire them. It was my job to keep the communications going. Yeah, once we finished our shipyard availability, we shot some test ones out. Pretty much the same thing without a live warhead on them. And they're painted a cool color. I was kind of sad. I was supposed to, when my boat was in the shipyard getting repairs done on it, I was supposed to go to another boat that was going to go test fire a new variation of a Tomahawk. And so I flew to Hawaii to go ride this boat to do this. Unfortunately, they were broken. We weren't able to go out to sea, so I didn't get to do that. That was one thing I wanted to do, though. It'd be pretty cool. Firing Tomahawks from underwater. It depends. I would say most of them are solo, but there are times where they travel in the same vicinity depending on what they've got going on, what the missions are, what they're doing. Yeah, most of the time it was all solo. Oh god, my bad, dude. I would say submarines never really travel with another submarine, but they do travel with other things, if that makes sense. I've done some operations where we play like cat and mouse between two different submarines. Yeah. Yep, the real big, real expensive ones. And they need our help. So in yes and no. So one thing that we kind of always say is like anything on board is out there to kill you. It's not literally out there to kill you, but it's like if you don't treat it with respect, it's gonna try to kill you. So as long as you're trained up on your job, you know how to do your job, everybody is playing together as a team and working together for the same common goal, it's safe. If you have a crew of people that have no idea what they're doing, they're very junior or anything else, then yes, it can be very catastrophic. They back in the 60s, they lost a submarine out at sea during a sea trials event after it was being built. And ever since then, they created a new program called SubSafe. And SubSafe requires you to have very, very, very strict procedures for very important jobs or boundaries or certain things. Like if the diesel is broken, even though it's a nuclear powered submarine, if the diesel's broken, you can't go out to sea because that's the means of backup power. And so there's like second and tertiary different things that are there to support each other. So there's a lot of different like backups and safeties in place. Oh yeah, they're a lot more safe, and they continue to get safer and safer as you go. There was one time we got out of the shipyard, and it was probably like 4 months after we were out of the shipyard. We were running drills where you practice different casualties, and there was a mistake that we made. We secured one thing so that way we could run a drill on that one thing, but we ended up running a drill on the other thing, and part of that drill is immediately securing it, and so those actions were taken. So since both were secured, we lost power, and we lost propulsion, so we started sinking out for a little bit. We had an emergency backup to where if we needed to, we could blast a bunch of air in the tanks, blow all the water out, and float to the surface. But we ended up but brought back online the things that we took offline, and we were able to recover ourselves, which was a safer decision to do. But it was a little hairy for a second because we ended up going a lot deeper than we were wanting to do. It depends on how deep we are. It can take up to a couple minutes, or it can take like 10-15 seconds. Just depends. You can there's pictures out there of submarines doing what's called an emergency blow, and you'll see like the front of the submarine coming out. Kind of looks like a missile coming out of the water at like a 20-ish degree angle. It's pretty cool. I have done one of those before for testing. It was pretty fun. Yeah, so this time we have a heavy load, but we're not oversized. Okay, we are oversized, but not like we were last time. Oh, you asked if we could float up too quick. No, there's nothing would be too quick. Not ultra wide, yeah. Yeah, like the quicker we can get up, the safer we are, because with like water pressure, because in those instances of where we would want to do like an emergency blow, one of them would be like flooding, and so you can reduce the amount of flooding you have on board by coming up to a shallower depth. So obviously the surface is shallow, so you can do, because the less pressure on there it doesn't push as much water through the hole of whatever is coming through. So you'd want to come up as quickly as you possibly could. Yes and no. Kind of just depends. I mean, if you use all your air to do an emergency blow, obviously you're going to have to recharge air. So you're probably going to be on the surface for a while. Worst case scenario, if you were to do an emergency blow, come up, and there was something you ran into, that would be like worst case scenario. But that still is better than sinking the ship out. So so anything that is considered a large enough diameter hole that could sink out our ship has a double valve system on it, to where they would both have to fail in order for all the water to be rushing in. And I forget the diameter size hole that it is, but then anything that's less than a certain size would be considered like a leak, not really a flooding. And so the leak is something that we could overcome with the bilge pumps that we have. Yeah, it's called electrolysis. We take water, zap it with electricity, and separate the oxygen and the hydrogen atoms. We store the hydrogen atoms, discharge them overboard when we can, and then we keep the oxygen, put it in our oxygen banks. So if you just keep the sinking, you die instantly at a certain level. Yes and no. So that it's not like a set depth that you would do that at, but essentially the water pressure would crumble the submarine, and it would implode itself, which would be an instant death. The shockwave from it would kill you, and then everything else would just fall to the bottom of the ocean. Or if there was enough water, if the water sunk it, I guess, if it filled up with water and there was no more air in there, then obviously we would drown. We wouldn't have enough air, and then we would just get crushed as we went down. And then our bodies would eventually just crush due to sea pressure. But again, the likeliness of that happening is very, very, very small chance. There would have to be so many things that went wrong at one time for that to happen. Yo, what up, Spaced? How you doing? Welcome in, welcome in. We're speeding on the highway, driving a semi-truck. Nothing crazy. Talking some bullshit. Hanging around, played a bit too much DayZ this evening. What map are you running on? I'm not gonna lie, I kind of wish I was streaming earlier when I was running on Sakal, and you guys would have seen me freaking flip my damn truck over. It didn't ruin the truck, so I'm curious if I were to log back in and go there, if it would still be in there and still be there or not. The server that Chris admin's on, they used to have some like super fast cars on DayZ, like some that were going like 300 kilometers on there. Stupid fast. Insane. It's a heavily modded server though. Oh, you're talking about putting a GT3 race car in here? Oh, dude, go for it. I'm all for it. Do a little Smokey and Bandit. You were on Triple H Z again. Just getting back in the swing of DayZ things. Yeah, definitely. Maybe after yeah, fuck it. After we do this run, I'll fire up DayZ. I'll hop on that private server, and I'll see if I can go run over there and see if the car's still flipped upside down or if it despawned. The server is getting shut down tomorrow, so I don't really have anything else planned on there. It would be kind of funny to see. So if it's not ruined, it won't despawn. It won't despawn unless it hasn't been touched for like 6 days, because the server doesn't reset unless I reset it. where'd you flip your car over? At the docks right outside the submarine, because I was going to go to the submarine and I was driving at night and I didn't realize it was a drop off, and so the car just went like nose first and it just rolled right over itself. So it was just sitting there on its roof. I opened up the hatch, took what I could out of the back, and called it good. Yeah, it was pretty funny. Like I said, I wish I was recording it so I can make it a clip. Classic headed to the sub. Yep. Yeah, hopefully it's not nighttime on that server, though. Fuck, I hate when it's nighttime. It's so damn dark. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, Hod's the one that she admins on. I forget what HOD stands for. House of something, I think. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I never did boomers. I did I was on an Ohio class submarine, but it was converted to a GN, so it had a bunch of Tomahawks, not Trident missiles. But yeah, HOD is the servers that Chris admin on the PvE servers, heavily modded. Yeah, it's a good time though. I like how interactive they are. It's very rare that you see like admins in a server actually like helping people out, at least from what I've seen, right? Because like most of the admins are like ghost mode, lurking, and you put a ticket in, they get around to it. Like there you can actually like type in like global chat and like they'll like teleport over to you and help you out if you need help with something. Pretty cool. The only thing I don't like, and I completely understand why they do it, it's just something I don't like, is when you build a base, you have to get the flagpole kit, and you have to keep the flag raised. So after like 4 or 5 days, if you don't raise your flag drops down, and then they wipe your base out. So it's kind of like you have to be on there every so often in order to keep your stuff. But other than that, I mean, it's a really good PvE server. They got a lot of, they've got like AI, they've got a black market that's like super hardcore shit to go through. Flag set to a month. See, I would enjoy that because I can guarantee be on there like at least once a month. But they wipe the server every like 3 months, I think. So yeah. Yeah, I was going through my mods on DayZ on the launcher, and I was like, holy shit, I've got a lot of mods. And then I deleted everything except for like 4 mods, like the ones I knew I was going to use, and I haven't brought any of them back. So yeah, it's a lot of mods. There's a little bit of lag in the servers too because of it. You can definitely tell when there's a bunch of loot around. Dude, it was wild. I had a lot of them. I deleted all of them except for VBP admin, the CL that goes with it, Deadfall mods, whatever mods that Deadfall has, and maybe 1 other or 2 other ones, but that's it. Those are the only ones that I put back in there. Pretty much whatever I needed to run Deadfall is what I left on there. Nice, hell yeah. Yeah, how's that new graphics card doing for you on DayZ? I mean, DayZ, granted, isn't very demanding of a game, so it doesn't take much of a graphics card to run it, but the nicer graphics card you get, the smoother it always runs. Nice. Hell yeah. I don't know if my bitrate is limited, but it's running like 6K right now, so that's what I'm running. So like 6,300, 6,100 ish. Haven't dropped any frames though, knock on wood. I'm only streaming at 720 though, so I think it's locked at 6K for that. I'll probably keep it at 720 for now. 6K is the limit for non-partnered. I think Thorsey's ran more than 6K. Haven't you, Thorsey? I think you've ran 8 to 9 before? Maybe? I'm not sure. You're at 7,500? Okay. Who knows? I know when you, like, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty certain that when you set your stream, like for me, I set mine at 720, it automatically limits it to 6K. One time I ran it at 1080, and then it bumped it up automatically, and it limited at that amount, so... I think it increases with how much quality you're trying to stream at too, I think. Once I get a better graphics card later this year, I'll start streaming at a higher rate, but mostly I know I'm gonna forget to change the settings, and when I start streaming in Gray Zone again, I can only stream it at 720 because the game's at medium. I'm streaming at 720 and my graphics card is screaming at that level. I'm like able to barely maintain like 60 frames. No, I think I get like 80 frames on average, but yep, light looked green to me. Whoa. Dude. Did you just shit on my windshield? So you're streaming at 2K? I would say minimum FPS that you want to shoot for is 60, so that way you get 1 frame per second, so that way you don't get the, oh man, what's it called? The tearing? I think it's called tearing. Yeah, so your goal is always to have at least 60 frames per second. From what you see, yeah. And same for your output for your stream too, because you don't want to like see something clear and then your viewers are seeing something less clear. So I would definitely be at least 60K. Or 60 frames. You rock 7K? Yeah, and that's just for the smoothness of it, so that way it's not, you know, I'm pretty sure it's called tearing, so that way it doesn't tear across your, or stutter, jitter, whatever you want to call it, across the screen. Where you start seeing like the clumps of squares of the bit refreshing happening. Like I streamed Gray Zone once with the graphics on medium and the stream at 1080, but I was dropping below, like I was getting like 50 frames at some point, so That was my personal cutoff. So that's why I moved it back to 720. So that way it'd always stay above 60 frames. I'm shooting like 6,500. Oh, it went down to like 5,500. Now I'm back up to 6,000 for my bit rate. It's so weird because like, so I run, obviously I've got OBS up, but I also open up the stream manager on, through Twitch. And there's a little part on there, it's like live, and then it's like next to it, it says like excellent, and then like sometimes it's like very bad, and I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? Like stream looks like it's running just fine. But I think it's like something to do with the bit rate with it. I'd love to be able to play everything like ultra settings and stream in 2K. That's like the goal of what I would like to do. We'll see if we ever get there. Yeah, I agree with Thorzy. I think I would do 1080, see how that goes, and then adjust from there. I think 2K, 1440 or 2K is going to be a little too much. Oh, gotcha. So you're talking about your output to your monitor then. So your monitor is a 2K monitor. You can bypass it. They start buffering you around 8K-ish, so there is a limit. Gotcha. We're so close. We're so close. Ah, gotcha. Yeah, I would just see what the resolution of the TV is, and then I would output it to that amount, because if you're outputting it to anything different, you're kind of like wasting resources. Got to Davenport. Got 15 miles. Don't take jobs in New Jersey. Pothole state, yeah. Man, when I would drive up the 95 from south to north, north to south, whatever, going from New Jersey to New York were the two least favorite states I've ever driven in. The roads are atrocious. I wonder I wonder when this game expands out that far if they'll add the potholes in to make it that realistic or not. I feel like they should. Potholes patches, hell yeah. Something I was surprised about when I moved here to Colorado, the roads here in Colorado suck a lot too. The roads aren't poured evenly, so it's like very bumpy, and then yeah, there's a lot of like shit that's all torn up, but it's not from the state. It's from the citizens. They keep voting down spending money on the roads because they don't want the taxes to go up. So they're kind of doing it to themselves. It's kind of crazy, but so there's like only so much they can do with the budget that they're given. Yeah, I'm fine paying for taxes if I'm getting something out of it. But I would hate to pay for taxes and still have shitty roads. We can see the finish line. We're almost there. No cops, no stops. Man, on TV, I have no idea. You might just have to search like the model number or something to see what it is. Actually, you know what? No, you should be able to. Sorry. Um, give me a second. When I switch over to DayZ, I'll pop on my desktop and I'll show you where it's at. It's gonna be under your display settings. You should be able to tab your screen, and it should tell you what your screen output is. I'm pretty sure. We'll check it here in a second. Yeah, I think if you go into Windows, right click on the main desktop, go to display settings, and then it will have the resolution output. It should tell you what the recommended is based upon what it's seeing, what your monitor slash TV is capable of doing. I don't know if I got far enough over. Hope I didn't. Alright, we're gonna have to do this one again. This is gonna be fun to turn around again. So that's 4K then. Right? Yeah, that's 4K. That seems a little too much. I personally would only run it at 2K. But that's just me. So technically it is a 4K TV then. Alright, let's save this. Alright, give me a... There we go. So yeah, if you just go right click, display settings, and then you scroll down here. So right here, display resolution. So mine recommends 2K because that's what my monitor is. So yeah, you're set then. You're running at 2K then. All right, give me a second to fire up DayZ so I can show you guys where I crashed my car. And then we'll be good after that. Oh man, it's not capturing it. Why is it not capturing it? Okay, so we're gonna have to do it through here, but we're not gonna have any audio, so sorry about that, but for some reason it's not capturing the game. I think I need to go back this way. Alright, let's go see if my car's still there or not. Actually, you know what? I should be able to, do you guys have audio now? Is anything doubling? You should be able to hear the game now. Alright, cool. Damn, I'm gonna have to run through the night. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Oh shit, I moved shit around so I can't put my gun back. Whoops-a-daisy. I won't be able to turn on gamma because I didn't switch that scene over, so. Is this the right way? Or is this... No, wait, this is further south. I need to go this way. My bad. Wait, is it... Shit, which way's south? Yeah, you know what? I got something that tells me what direction it is. So, that's south. That's north. Okay. Should be down this way, I think. I still kind of feel like this is going the wrong way, though. You might have to switch two of your monitors around. I just probably switch my title over and stuff. Oh well. It'll be a real quick one. I'll try to make it as far as I can before it gets too dark. Wonder if I can change it from my phone. Oh, I can do it from my phone. Oh, yeah, I took it. Cool. Use a wall mount for the racing monitor. Yeah, I mean, I personally would rather use a computer monitor than a TV. Response times on a monitor are going to be generally a lot better, and because it's a smaller screen, your visual is going to look nicer. Okay, we are going the right way. We're almost there. Flores, did you fall asleep on me, bud? Where you at, bud? Oh, we'll get up here and we'll take some screenshots so I can show them. Gotcha, gotcha. You're here? Hell yeah. About to see my flipped over car. I didn't know if you had fallen asleep or not, bud. I figured you kind of did, or you're busy doing something. Getting sleep but chilling? Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm just going on here so we can see the car flipped over if it's still here or not. Have you played around with the rack at all? I'm honestly not a big fan of it. I keep finding ammo for it, so I've held on to it. Is this part where I tell you to go to bed, old man? He's ready to go party for 3 days straight. Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna regret doing that aggro on all those guys. Oh well, it is what it is. Oh, bud, that wasn't very nice of you. Hey, thanks for swinging by, man. I appreciate it. Have a good night. Take care, and either I'll catch you on your stream or catch you on someone else's stream. Alright, the car should be right up around that side of this industrial area. Because the sub's there, so yeah, it's like right over here. I was getting ready to drive down this area here. Oh, I'll be able to show you, you'll see. It's kind of funny. He's got a plate on him. Oh. Damn it, I hit my quick key. Oh, now I'll switch back over. I love this gun. Alright, he's far enough behind now. Shit. Oh, he's not dead. So I think I crashed the car down here. Did I crash the car at? I don't remember coming this way. Oh hey, where the headlights are. That's funny, the headlights.
Welcome in, Raiders! Thank you, Miss Indy 01, for the raid with 4 Raiders.
Oh, Miss Cindy, thanks for the raid.
Thank you for the follow. Quantum Morph 1.
That's where I flipped my car at. I appreciate you raiding in. I feel bad because I was actually just getting ready to hop off, but we'll definitely raid out. But thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate it. I was doing some American Truck Simulator and then just came over here really quick, so everyone's hopping off. Yeah, it's getting that nighttime. Yeah, I just came on to show where I wrecked my car at earlier when I was just messing around. What were you playing? Just got done with some DayZ. What map are you on? I wonder if there's a way I could push this car back over. Yeah, I literally like crawled out of it upside down and then got up in here to get the stuff out of here that I wanted. You're on your New York for the first time? Nice. I haven't played it since they brought it back out. I last played it actually on Halloween. Yeah, we're just kind of screwing off now. Oh, missed my shot. Oh, that's hilarious that the lights just died. Can I still get in here upside down? Okay, that's a little too funny that I can still get in here upside down. Granted, I'm in the wrong seat, but that's hilarious. I have another battery for this thing. Yeah, as you can tell, we're clearly just screwing off now. Okay, I have another battery, but I can't get to the hood. Oh wait, there is no hood on here. Dude, no way. I forgot it. There's no hood on this one. Driver seat's on this side. Yeah, the little bit that I played in New York, it was fun. I had a blast with it. I'm just gonna go till the engine blows up. Alright, y'all. Like I mentioned, I was just jumping on so we could show the where I wrecked my car at. Took a couple screenshots. Thank you for the follow, Quantum Morph. I appreciate it. And Miss Indy, thank you for the raid. I'm going to go ahead and look for someone that we can raid off. We'll pay it forward. Pretty sure I know who I'm going to be able to raid out to, so let's take a look. Next time, keep it on the road. You know what? Let's go raid out Soap Mr. Clean. He's playing some Hunt Showdown. Stick by for the raid really quick. Go say hi, and then leave a lurk if you're gonna have something on, and I will see you guys next time. I'm gonna try to stream tomorrow. I don't know if I'll be able to or not. But yeah, thank you everybody for swinging by, showing up, and I'll see y'all next time. Later.
Coffee and
GG.
food? What do you mean?
We
Yeah,
can go up
spicy.
to the,
What food?
Hideout.
What
Yep.
food?
I got 6 points.
What food? Travis!
Let's go.
Oh my
We
gosh,
survived the
Travis, what's up, bud?
Somehow.
Thank you for the
I was,
raid.
I couldn't even tell
Appreciate you.
where they were coming from. Felt like everywhere.
It did feel like everywhere.